Today, we're going to visit a historical place, a monastery in medieval Europe. Monasteries were islands of calm in a restless world. They were self-sufficient communities of monks who lived according to a strict routine of prayer, work, and study. And there were many of them all over Europe during the Middle Ages. But this one is special. Now let's go back in time to experience life at the monastery in medieval Europe. The sun sinks low behind the mountains, its last golden rays spilling across the stone walls of the monastery. Shadows lengthen in the cloisters, stretching beneath the arches where monks walk in silence. The day has ended as it began, in prayer, in stillness, in the measured rhythm of lives devoted to it. The monastery is an island of calm in a restless world. Beyond its gates lie villages, fields and roads where travelers pass, where lords quarrel and where armies sometimes march. But here, inside the walls, time feels different. Days unfold not by the movements of merchants or kings, but by the tolling of bells. At dusk, the great bell sounds again, its deep, resonant tone rolling across the countryside. Each note lingers, then gives way to the next, echoing in the hollows of the old stone towers. Free from the fields and gardens, from the scriptorium and the workshops, from the refectory and the kitchens, the monks drop their tools and one by one come to the cloisters. They move purposefully, silently, their habits, the long robes they wear, billowed around them. In the failing light, the brothers gather, a community bound by vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience, dedicated to a life of prayer and service. They make their way to the church, their steps soft on the worn flagstones, their faces turned in, their eyes downcast. The monastery is an island of calm in a restless world, a sanctuary where the noise of history, the clashes of ambition, and the clamor of trade cannot touch it. Founded in the 8th century, it has endured Viking raids and the Black Death, the vagaries of feudal lords, and the changing tides. Through wars and famines, through plagues and revolutions, it has stood constant, a beacon of faith and learning, a home to generations of monks seeking solace and service in the shadow of the Almighty. Within these venerable walls, the rhythm of life has always been the same: work, prayer, and study. The cycle turns with the sun and moon. At the heart of it all is the church, the place of worship and meditation, the axis of the monastic day. The monks file in, 2 by 2, their habits a sea of black and white, surging and falling like waves on the shore. They take their places in the stalls along the walls, their posture upright, their heads bowed. Their day is done, but their devotion continues. The church fills with a murmur of prayers, the rustle of habits, the soft tread of bare feet on cold stone. Incense rises in lazy wisps from the censers held aloft by the monks, mingling with the smell of old wood and stone and dust. Light filters through stained glass windows, painting shafts of color on the floor, illuminating motes dancing in the air. In this hushed space, the weight of centuries seems to settle upon us. Here, in this hallowed place, they are part of a continuum, linked to generations of monks who have prayed lamplight. Their faces are obscure, their features hidden, their identities hidden. There are young men and old, tall and short, strong and frail, simple and learned. Some bear the marks of toil, their hands rough, their faces wet. Others show the signs of years spent poring over books. Their eyes sharp, their beards streaked with gray. Despite their differences, they are united by their vows, their purpose, and their devotion. For a moment, the world outside the monastery fades away. The squabbles of kings, the struggles of peasants, the concerns and cares of everyday life fall silent in the face of eternity. The chanting begins, deep voices weaving a tapestry of sound. Latin words, ancient and resonant, fill the church, carrying prayers and psalms across the centuries. The monks chant in unison, their voices blend, creating a rich, vibrant whole, greater than the sum of its parts. Their voices rise and fall, echoing off the high vaulted ceiling. They chant of creation and fall, of hope and despair, of love and loss, of heaven and hell. Their voices weaving a spell, transporting those who hear them to another time, another place. The singing continues, unbroken, unwavering, a testament to the enduring power of faith. The evening progresses with measured steps. After the chant, there is scripture, followed by supper, which is taken in silence. Each monk mindful of his portion, giving thanks to the food that sustains him. As the final courses are cleared away, the novice speaks, his voice young and clear, reading from the lives of the saints, his words echoing in the vast space. Far after supper, there are night prayers, and then the final hours before bed. Some monks retire to their cell, where narrow beds and wooden crucifixes wait, while others stay in the common, reading by the dim light of oil lamps, poring over texts, their candles flickering, throwing dancing shadows on the walls as they record and copy. Ancient manuscripts preserving knowledge for future generations. Some write with elegant copper or iron quills, their pens scratching across the vellum, their inks mixing with careful mixtures. Others read, their eyes tracing the lines of aged pages, their lips moving in silent recitation. Still others sit in meditation, their eyes closed, their hands resting on their laps, lost in contemplation. As the night deepens, the sounds of the monastery into a lullaby. The ticking of the clock, the murmur of prayer, the whisper of turning pages, the scratching of a quill. These are the sounds of learning, of devotion, of life lived in the pursuit of wisdom and righteousness. It is a far cry from the chaos of the world outside, where kings fight and die, where fortunes are made and lost, where passions run high and tempers play. Here, within these four walls, there is only peace. In the morning, when the sun rises and the birds sing, the monks will rise and begin their day anew. They will tend to their chores, their tasks, their duties. They will work in the fields of the workshop. They will cook or clean. They will chant or study. But for now, it is night and the monastery sleeps. The silence is not an empty silence, but one that is full of the quiet dignity of men who have dedicated their lives to God. Outside, the wind The rain may fall, the snow may drip, but within these walls all is well. The monks sleep soundly, their dreams filled with visions of heaven, their hearts filled with the hope of salvation. For them, the night is long, but their faith is strong. They know that in the darkness, God is with them. They know that in the silence, they can hear His voice. They know that in the solitude, they are never alone. And so they sleep, waiting for the dawn, waiting for the day, waiting for the chance to serve the Lord once more. At midnight, while villagers sleep and the roads lie empty, the monastery wakes again. The bell tolls, its voice rolling through the darkness, calling the brothers to rise. For centuries, this has been the night watch, the vigil, a prayer offered in the deepest hours, when the world is quiet. In their narrow cells, monks stir, some stretch, letting out small sighs. Others clasp their hands together, murmuring thanks to the day that's passed. Each one hears the slumberers in his own way, yet each one comes to pray. Candles are lit, faint glows spilling across the rug in the fields. Robes are pulled close against the January chill, sandals tied, and footsteps fall softly as the monks gather once more in the church. The great doors grow open, and the cold night air follows them, stirring the flames of the altar candle. But inside, the candles already burn, and the faint smoke of incense curls upward like whispers. The sound of sandals on stone echoes as they take their places. One by one, the faces turn toward the altar of pain, serene, blind, youthful, aged. Their eyes, though all look toward these, where darkness is deepest and the night is most still. The chant begins again, slower now, more solemn. Voices rise and fall in unison, weaving together into patterns that seem endless, without beginning or end. As the oldest chants move through the vast space, they weave a tapestry of sound and solitude. They are songs and prayers from long ago, words spoken by men who lived as these men do, deep in the heart of winter, when the nights are long and hope seems fragile. But even in the midst of such starkness, there is beauty, a fierce, untamed wildness that mirrors the natural world just beyond the monastery walls. Here, in this sacred space, the ancient rhythms of life and death, joy and sorrow, faith and doubt, all find voice. And for a few brief moments, the weight of time itself seems lifted, leaving only the echo of human resilience and the solace of shared humanity. Outside, the world is hushed. The fields lie under frost. The trees stand bare and motionless. Only the owls keep watch, their cries drifting faintly through the night. But inside the monastery, the stones seem to breathe the rhythm. When the vigil ends, silence returns. The monks file back through the cloisters, the sound of their footsteps mingling with the drip of water in the fountain. Some return to rest, others remain in their cells, reading by candlelight or meditating in stillness, each absorbed in his own thoughts, each carrying the echoes of the night office within him. As the sky begins to lighten, a new energy stirs in the monastery. A rooster crows in the distance. Somewhere a dog barks. The sounds, though faint, are different, charged with the promise of a new day. Inside the monastery, too, something stirs. In the chapel, the altar candles burn low, their flames flickering like memories of the night. But soon they will be replaced, fresh flames kindled to welcome the rising sun. It is the duty of the sacristan to prepare them. He moves with quiet grace, his steps sure and steady on the stone floor. Each movement is precise, each gesture infused with a lifeline devotion. First, he trims the wicks, then lights the candles one by one, their flames rising to meet his gaze. As he steps back to admire his work, the colors dance in his eyes, a kaleidoscope of flickering light and shadow. For a moment, he is lost in the beauty of the flames, their gentle glow illuminating the intricacies of the chapel around him. Then, with a final nod of satisfaction, he turns and disappears into the shadow, leaving the candles to burn brightly in the growing light. Meanwhile, in the refectory, Brother Thomas prepares breakfast for the monks. The kitchen is small, its walls lined with shelves holding simple bowls and platters. The air is thick with the scent of porridge and drying herbs. Thomas works with a practiced hand, his movements economical and precise. He measures grain and water into a large pot, his gaze steady and unwavering. As the porridge simmers on the hearth, he chops vegetables with a warm knife, each slice falling precisely where he intends. There is a quiet rhythm to his work, a sense of purpose that transcends the mundane tasks. His face, etched with the passage of time, speaks of years spent in service. His hands, gnarled and strong, bear witness to a life lived in devotion. Each movement is a prayer, each task an act of worship. For Thomas, there is no separation between work and devotion. Every bowl he fills, every platter he sets, is an offering to God. He is sustained by a deep sense of peace, a quiet joy that comes from a life lived in service. As the first rays of sunlight touch the windowsill, he finishes his preparation, his heart full of gratitude for the simple bounty. Soon the monks will gather in the refectory, drawn together by the promise of warmth and fellowship. The night office has ended, the candles have been trimmed, the porridge made, and as the first light touches the eastern hills, the monastery stirs once more. It is the hour of morning prayer. From their cells, the monks rise slowly, stretching stiff limbs and shaking off the remnants of sleep. The routine is familiar, ingrained in their daily lives, yet each repetition holds a unique beauty. The quiet murmur of prayers echoing in the stone chambers, the soft sigh of robes being donned, the gentle creak of sandals tied, the measured tread of feet on ancient stone floors. All are part of a timeless ritual that binds them together in their devotion. With bowed heads and whispered words, they ready themselves for the day ahead, knowing that in their shared devotion they are creating a haven of peace in a world that often seems far from tranquil. The spirit of the night office lingers in the air, a silent testament to the strength found in solitude and the solace of shared purpose. And as the sun begins its ascent, the monks of the monastery make their way to the chapel. their footsteps echoing the rhythm of centuries past. Inside the cavernous space, the air is still heavy with the echoes of the night office. The words of the vigil hanging in the air like incense smoke. The sight that greets them is one of quiet reverence. On the altar, the candles burn steady, their flames dancing in the soft light of dawn. The scent of incense mingles with the earthy aroma of old stone, creating an atmosphere of profound stillness. As the monks take their places, their voices blend in unison, creating a sound that is both ancient and timeless. The psalms and prayers, spoken in hushed tones, weave a tapestry of devotion that envelops the chapel. Their words, imbued with centuries of faith, carry the weight of generations past. Their voices a testament to the enduring power of prayer. Outside, the world awakens to a new day. Birdsong drifts through the open windows, mingling with the monks' chants. The gentle breeze rustles the leaves of distant trees, a reminder of the natural world beyond the monastery's embrace. But within these ancient walls, time seems to stand still. Lost in their prayers, the monks find solace and strength in their shared devotion. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, the energy in the monastery begins to shift. The shadows lengthen, the birdsong grows louder, and the scent of blooming flowers wafts through the open. It is the hour of the midday bell, its clear notes echoing across the land, summoning the monks to break their fast and find solace in each other's company. The night office has given way to the promise of dawn, and now the sun climbs high overhead, bathing the monastery in its warm light. Within the chapel, the morning prayer draws to a peaceful close, leaving the monks refreshed and ready to embrace the day. As they process out of the chapel, their steps are lighter, their voices a bit brighter. The camaraderie forged in prayer binds them together, creating a sense of community that sustains them through the hours ahead. The memory of the night office lingers, not as a solemn obligation, but as a source of quiet strength. With renewed spirits, the monks disperse to their various tasks. The midday bell calls them to gather once more. In the refectory, the sound of their footsteps mingles with the clatter of dishes and the murmur of conversation, creating a symphony of everyday life. The night office may have ended, but its spirit remains, woven into the fabric of their daily lives, a testament to the endurance of faith and the beauty of shared devotion. As the sun begins its slow descent, casting long shadows across the land, the monastery prepares for the evening bell. The scent of wood smoke drifts on the breeze, mingling with the aroma of baking bread and village bread. Within the chapel, the day's prayers have ended, leaving a profound stillness in their life. The monks, their voices hoarse from hours of chanting, make their way to their cell, each carrying the echoes of the day's devotion within them. The night office, with its solemn rituals and whispered prayers, awaits them in the gathering darkness. The simplicity of their lives, their dedication to prayer and service, stands in stark contrast to the complexities of the outside world. Yet, within these ancient walls, they find a depth of meaning that transcends the passage of time. As night falls, the world beyond the monastery stirs with activity, with laughter and chatter fading into the twilight. But here, in this sanctuary of stone and clay, a different kind of magic unfolds. The night office beckons, promising a communion of souls in the quiet depths of the night. The monks, drawn by an ancient river, return to the chapel, their steps echoing the countless pilgrims who have walked this path before them. Soon, the familiar routine evening prayer will begin, weaving a tapestry of sound and devotion that has echoed through the centuries. The night office is more than a religious duty. It is a testament to the human spirit's capacity for faith, endurance, and peace. And as the night deepens, the monks find solace in its embrace, united in their devotion and the timeless beauty of their ancient faith.